Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our presentation on the technical side of the introduction and the programming a little bit of the AX Pro. So thank you for everybody for being here. Really appreciate it. I just want to quickly check if everybody can hear me. If someone can just tell me in the chat if you guys can see me and hear me. There we go. Awesome. Right. So today we're going to just be jumping in a little bit. We're not going to go too far down with the technical side. We're just going to give you a little bit of a brief indication to give you guys a bit of an idea of what's going on and what's happening. We are still busy with our design and setup for our recordings to make things even better. But I'm sure that this is at least a good start for you guys. All right. Just move some things around. There we go. Right. Right, so today we're going to be discussing wireless products on the AX Pro, how to add them, and then connect it to the web to make sure that you have communication regarding all of that. So at the back of me, I've got a bit of a technical display here for you guys. I added some few little goodies onto it just to give you guys a bit more of an understanding. And I've got a little webcam here that will change over and go through it a little bit of detail. We're just going to go through the PowerPoint itself and make sure that you guys are aware of what's happening. Right. So first of all, that's the panel on the AX Pro. You've got a little place on the front where you can use the built-in tag system. So you can use that little tag that's on it. They normally look like this. I don't know if you guys can see, there we go. Or you can use the normal ones as well, the little white cards to be able to arm and disarm your panel. You can also have a little area where you can put up a tag unit on a wall. So instead of a keypad, you can have a tag unit. So this is also very nice. On the back of it, you have the on-off button. You have two SIM slots there. I've put in a SIM card on mine, and the SIM card is not working, so sorry. I wanted to show you guys. Then you got a tamper switch on it, and you got also a reset button, but we'll go through that. So as soon as you powered up the system, very straightforward, you go onto your HIK-Connect app. Once you're on your HIK-Connect app, you basically just scan the barcode on the back of the machine, say next, and then you select which one you would like to connect it to, either via cable or via Wi-Fi. So if you go your Wi-Fi password or whatever the case is, at least that makes life a lot easier. Then you don't have to plug in too many cables. I've got mine today on Wi-Fi and on network as well. So the next option is it's going to ask you if it's powered on. That will help. And then it's going to ask you like your connection. So this is just an example through the Wi-Fi. You're going to put in your Wi-Fi name and then your password. It's going to connect to it. It takes a few seconds and then it's connected. Once it's connected, it's going to show you how you can scan the rest of the products. Let's just quickly go through this little video. And like I mentioned, make sure that it's on, it's connected. The cable one is a lot easier. It's straightforward. Right. So it's searching now for the device through your network. That's internally without the SIM card connected, so you don't need that function. While we're waiting on that video, if your system is asking you after you've connected it up for an update, I would recommend make sure that the system is connected with a stable connection before you update the device. Because if you do update the device during interruption through the network, it's not a very good thing for the product, and it takes very long to get that sorted out. Right, so now we're naming. Right, I'm just going to pause it there a little bit. Okay, there it's done. All right, so that's straightforward. So once you're on your app, you've got the device showing on your app itself. Then you can start looking at the different settings and the different options. It's up to you if you want to add the products first or first add who's the person. For me, normally it would be first to add just the tag alone. The reason why I say the tag itself is to be able to just to make it a bit easier for you to arm and disarm, or you can have your remote that you program first. So that's up to you, but that's the way that I normally prefer it. The next option is if in case you did something wrong and you would like to reset it, it's very straightforward. You got the reset in right at the back of it. You power down the system, switch it off, reset it, power it back on, and give it a chance. It will tell you that the device is ready. Then it's been reset completely back to factory. Right, so once the system is on your app, on your HIK-Connect app, you'll see it on the first page. The first page will show you the indication of the little picture. Once you click on that little picture itself, it will open up the entire panel itself for you. The first thing that it's going to be showing you is areas. So we want to go to devices. Once you go to devices, you click on that little plus button to add the product. So all the products, everywhere else, they got little barcodes here at the back of it that you can scan at the back of the devices itself. So that's up to you, make it a little bit easier, but it's not just on the back of it. It's sometimes also inside it. I don't have another one open. So also on the inside of it, you got a little barcode. So they make sure that they put the barcode QR scanner for you everywhere. So you can just scan it and you've got your device ready. So at the back of it, there we go. Right. So once you scan it, you can scan your device, which however you want to, keypad, or, you know, it's up to you, wherever you would like to start. Once it's been scanned, it will show you on the device itself. You can click the arrow on the right-hand side in the middle of the screen. It will show you your temperature of the device. It will show you battery, signal strength, and if the lid is open or closed, that will be your tamper itself. And you can disable the tamper as well on the device to make sure that if you are working on it while you're working, it doesn't make any noise. That's why I said I prefer just to quickly add a tag or something on the panel itself while I'm programming everything, because sometimes you open and close the lid and it starts screaming and it's a little bit annoying. So the best is just to go through the process and make sure that it's straightforward. So the next option is once you've done adding all your products and everything else on your device that you need to add, you can go onto the little settings button that's on the top right corner. Looks like a little hexagon there for EFC. So you can click on that little button there, and once you click on it, you have multiple options there. So the first option is going to be user management. So on there, you can add your user itself. So once you click on it, it's got a little down button itself, where that little block here on the right hand side is showing you. So you just click down and it will show you the entire profile of the person. There you would be able to add your password, your tags, or see what tags you've got, your duress code. So there you can change if you wanted whatever information that you need for that specific user. So once you've changed all that, the system will automatically save it. You can go back. And now we're in the front of the system. This is just a little guide again, just to show you how to add it. So we're adding the device. So as soon as you switch on the device, it will immediately find it and already connect it. So this is really simple, very easy. It's very user-friendly and DIY as well. So the end user can do it himself if he needs to, if you would like to add different devices, so you can check up on all that. Signal strength on the devices are very important, so make sure that you check up what your signal strength is. A lot of the times the guys will have the panel on the 3rd floor, and then they'll have a normal PIR underneath at the basement or the garage area, or whatever the case might be. Have a look at your signal strength. The distance between the normal devices and your panel itself is 2,000 meters. So it's quite a distance, but take in consideration you have walls, steel, and all sorts of things that could interfere with that signal itself to be able to reduce it. So make sure that you check your signal strength. All right, so now we've added the tags, we've added everything else. Our next option is on our keypad. So this gives you indication what you can do with your keypad. I've got one keypad here. So it lights up, if everybody can maybe see. It tells me if there's an error on it. Mine's got errors because I've been fiddling on it. and it shows me that the system is ready and everything else is fine. So it's up to you if you would like to use the keypads. A lot of people don't always use keypads anymore because we have changed now towards more functional, easier things, and also the app to make life a lot easier. But this gives you the option at least, and you can change it how you would like to. Right, so the next step that we've got here is to add a tag. So to add a tag is very similar to adding your user itself. So you'll go through to the settings buttons on the top. Once you're at the setting buttons, you go to card and tag. So this allows you to be able to add multiple devices. So you'll see here on the top right-hand side of the third page, it gives you that little icon. Once you click it, it's going to give you 30 seconds to be able to take your tag and put your tag on your device. Mine's not programmed. There we go. Right. So that gives you that they are now switch on mine. And now mine is going to go off. There we go. So now my alarm has been reset, and that's very quick, very easy, just by the tag itself. Our next option is if you would like to use a normal tag itself, a card, and this will just give you a little bit of an indication of a little video. So once we go to that settings, we go to card and tag. Once the card and tag is there, it gives you that 30 seconds. Just this on here. There we go. Mine's this on. Okay. So the notifications are coming through on my phone. So it's very instant, very quickly. Right. Our next option here is if you would like to add a remote. So this is one of the key fob remotes itself. So I don't know if you guys can see the little picture there. There we go. There's also a picture on the presentation. And at the back of it, it's got a QR code. So this is very easy to use, very simple, very straightforward. You got the battery also on the inside. It can be replaced. It's a normal big watch battery. So this gives you the capability of adding it. So once you go onto your device, you add a device, you click the plus button, you scan the little code at the back of it. And once you scan the code, it's going to ask you to press any button. So you can press any button and it will pick it up. From there on, you can link it to whichever user you would like to link it. So just take note and take consideration. You can have 32 different areas that you can set up, different partitions. So for each area, you can have a remote assigned to that person itself to make it a lot easier for you. Right, so the next option here is where you can set up whatever your key fob needs to do on your buttons. So this gives you the capability to change it. So if you wanted to use button 2 only for stay, or you wanted to use button 1 for clearing or as a medical. So a lot of people sometimes have people staying with them or an elderly person that might need medical attention. They can carry this thing around. It's got a little cover at the back here. It's got a little hole so you can put one of those little thingies through your neck, you know, to make it a bit easier to carry around. Once you've got that, you can program it to set as a medical or a silent alarm or whatever you would like to program it. Right, so our next step is on our sensors, on our PIRs and stuff like that, or PIR on cam. So yeah, you just press the plus button again to add it. It's very straightforward. I'm going to take another sensor here because my PR is on the wall there. There we go. I pointed at the right area. So this also, like all the other devices, have the little code at the back. Yes, that is press stick, just to keep it not moving around for now, for showing you guys. And at the back of the cover on the inside, you also have it. On the top where the battery is, you also have it. You have an on-off button there, so your device is normally off when you receive it. So once you add the device, it's going to ask you to switch on the button. Once you switch on the button, the lights are definitely going to come on, and it's going to start trying to find the panel itself to read with it. All right. These batteries inside here are the CR123 A models. That's these babies here, and we supply them, and then that is our batteries, right, that we're working, and they're 3 volt for anybody that wanted to know, right? And yeah, you got quite a lifespan battery for the guys that were in the presentation last week. If you weren't, please go to our YouTube channel. We have a dedicated section there for especially for these type of videos that we are doing. And on that presentation, we've gone through the lifespan of the different products and their battery life itself, so you can go and have a look at that. So once we've added that camera, that PIR camera, you can basically go and you can set up whatever the zone name needs to be. You can say if it needs to be a chime zone, a double knock. Double knock means that you need to trigger it twice before it goes into alarm. I wouldn't recommend it, especially from a security point of view, but you've got all your options there, and you can switch on and off the LED as well right there. So from here, basically, this will show you the data itself that's going through on your device. So yeah, we just would like to give you area demonstration of different areas itself. So it's the same principle. You go to settings. Once you go to settings, you can go to areas, and you can assign or enable different areas itself. On my device, I've got 2 areas at the moment as the setup. The second area, by accident, I clicked on it and I started the video. So it might going to battle to arm because the second area is also there. All right. So this is very straightforward. So the next one is to link the zones to the different areas. So like I mentioned, so if you have 10 PIRs, you can add all 10 PIRs and have them single on one area, or you can go and say that area 1 needs to be zone 1 and zone 2, area 2 needs to be zone 3 and zone 4, and so you can carry on whichever your application needs it for. All right. So once you have done all that, you have the buttons at the bottom to be able to have your way and your arm, your stay, and your clearing your alarm. So all your options are there at the bottom of it. So the next option that we've got here is on the systems and configuration. So you can set the time zone to make sure that you are on the correct time zone. Then we also have on your settings options, there's multiple options here. So over here, we'll be able to set different features and different functions that you need. So normally all of them are under default to make it straightforward and easy. But if you are a little bit technical, or maybe you have a special application where you need to change some of it, this gives you that indication to be able to change that. So if there's a fault, sometimes my Wi-Fi at home goes on and off. So I would go and disable the Wi-Fi function notification. So because sometimes it goes on and off, you don't have any control over that you don't want to get those messages the entire day through. So that is basically what you can do with the device. So the next one is the push notifications. On the push notifications, you can add mobile phones. So you add the numbers and you can say if they need to call you or send a message or whatever the case is. And then you can go and tick what notifications you need. So like I said, your options, you can either say, listen, I just want to know if maybe there's a gas alarm or if there's a panic or whatever the case might be, or maybe a tamper on the zone. So tampers on a zone is when you have the alarm armed or disarmed, and somebody that's visiting your premises decides that, listen, I'm going to try and remove this battery. Once they open it, it's going to go into alarm. So just to give you guys a bit of an indication while we're on video, let me just open up the device here. Let's see, I've got, which one I'm going to do? This one. I hope everybody can see me. All right. So I'm going to open up my cam. There we go. So basically straightforward. So it will immediately inform and immediately send that signal through and go into alarm itself. So that helps a lot with keeping control over your devices, making sure that nobody tampers or fiddles with it. All right, so next option When the device will send a message, this is how it's going to look like. It's going to tell you it's the AX Pro. It's going to tell you if it's a Berkeley and whatever the signal is and whatever the zone is, the time and date. So this is very important. Remember also that these devices can link through to ARM response companies through like RDC, FSK, and they can use different portals itself to be able to monitor those devices from listener to watch manager. So it depends on you guys which company you work with. Right, if it is unknown, it's going to obviously show you from our head office and it's going to phone through. So that's going to send you that notification to say that there's an alarm. And it's going to play you a little message. So on the alarm, these are the protocols and the different partitions in different areas. So it will inform you step by step. But I think all of us can see that it's very basic. It's very standard. There's not much more to say about it. It's a message and it tells you what's going on and it informs you what's happening. Right. So the next option is on your network camera. So here you will be able to add IP cameras. So this is a very nice feature and it's a very convenient feature. So add to this little setup that I've got here, I've also added an AccuSense camera. The AccuSense camera has already been programmed, so you can have it also stand alone. You don't have to add it to your NVR or DVR. So this is obviously network, so we're only concentrating on network devices, not analog itself. So on the IP device itself of that camera as an AccuSense, it's already been programmed as a line. And once the line has been programmed and set up, you can add the device in. Make sure that your camera is on the same network range as what your alarm panel is. If it's not on the same range, then it's not going to see one another. Just like on an NVR, you need to have the NVR and the cameras in the same range. If you don't, it's not going to see one another. Right. So it's straightforward. You click on the arrow, it takes you to the plus itself. Once you hit the plus, you put in the IP address of the camera. That will be the static IP address. And then thereafter, you put in the name and the username and the password. And normally try and keep it simple, straightforward, because you don't want to create inconvenience where you forgot what it was. Once it's been added, you can select it to whichever channel you want. So at this moment, I'm going to arm now and just give you guys a bit of an indication. So I'm going to try and move my cam. Let me just get to my webcam this side. There we go. I apologize for the bad quality image, but like I mentioned, we are still busy with our setup. So keep that in mind. Right. So I'm going to arm the system and I'm going to walk across the line just to give you guys an indication. Let me just stop moving so that all the lights don't see me. Right. Okay, it's telling me my cellular is lost. Okay, so now my system is armed. If everybody can hear me, I'm going to cross the line, and I've already programmed that the line crossing needs to flash on the strobe light on the camera itself. But once it does that, it will go into alarm on the AX Pro. Okay. Now the system is disarmed. Right. Let me just change my webcam again. There we go. All right. So it's very straightforward. All you need to do is basically, let me show you guys. I think I'll show you guys. All right. Very straightforward. So all I've got here is the camera. The camera is connected to a network cable going to our Hikvision switch to give it PoE. Our alarm is connected as well onto the switch on the same network. And then obviously my network cable is connected to our network of the building itself to make it a lot easier. So the alarm panel and the camera is in the same range as what the devices are and our Wi-Fi is. Right. So it's very straightforward, very easy to use. Let me just put this baby down. No, it didn't show, did it? Okay, let me try that again. Oh, my apologies for that one. There we go. So, okay. So the camera is connected to the network cables, connected to the switch, and then the panel is also connected to the switch itself. Our internal network is connected here, so they're both in the same range itself. So it's straightforward. It's just a cable. Very straightforward. Okay. All right. Let me just change my view again. There we go. All right. Perfect. Okay. So that makes it very simple, very easy to use, and you can change it according to how you would like it. So if there's an environment area where the outdoor detector, which is this one here, you get the PIR outdoor detector itself with the cam. So you can have either just a detector or you can have the cam that just clips on it. Mine's boxes, so I'll try to get as much goodies available just to show, just to give a bit of idea. We'll take the webcam to that area just now. So if you can't put up an outdoor detector itself, then you can use an AccuSense camera, and it will send through the messages. It will tell you it's a line crossing, and it will also send you that video feed. It depends on your setup. Right, so our next option here is going to be on the detectors itself, so to link them into different areas. So you can link your PIR to your camera itself. So if the PIR picks up something, it will send that video feed through. So this is the protocol to be able to enable it. And like majority of the stuff that you guys can see today, it's really straightforward. I think that each person, that if they had to take just a kit alone and switch it on and program it and add the devices, you'll quickly pick up how easy and how user-friendly this product is. And it looks nice as well. So, yeah. Right. So here's a little bit of an operation video, just to give you that indication, to show you on the network camera how to add it. So obviously, like I said, your IP address, try and make sure that it's a static IP address and it's in the same range. Right, so now it's added to your device, everything is there. You can link it to your channel, you can link it to a certain device. So if the device picks up the person, it will record, and now it's linked. Look how easy that is. It's really, really straightforward. Now you're waiting on it for arming. Once it's been armed, system will give you that indication. Once you trigger, the messages will come through. And once you click on it, it will tell you it's that sensor. If you go to the next one, it will give you that video playback. And there we go. And look how simple and easy, straightforward that is. Gentleman walked in and immediately it picked it up. Right. So the next is your account management. So this gives you that capability. Just remember that each device itself has its own username. So that username is assigned to that device itself. So keep that in mind. It's not your username that you've created. Right. So that is under default itself. Mobile device, it's the device that you're using to scan the product that you just started with the AX Pro. That gives you that indication of what that's that number of that phone, and it will link it through to that. Okay. So this is another way of doing it. If you would like to use the SADP tool, you can log in through the browser on the device itself, and that gives you that access to be able to go into a little bit more detail on the device itself. So very straightforward. You go to your enrolling mode. Once you're there, you can start adding relays. You can add whatever your devices are. This is a little bit more on the technical side. So our whole idea is to go through with you guys regarding the HIK-Connect app. So we're just going to go through these slides, and then I can show you guys a little bit what's happening behind me. So there you can see a device has been added, and you can name it, and it's a wireless device. So this is also your repeater. So repeaters can be added. They look like this. They look very similar towards the panel. So the repeaters itself, at the back have an on-off button itself, and you have your power point. So this is nice and very handy because you can extend the range even way more than normal. Right. So your devices itself, this will tell you what the status is of your devices on the interface through the web browser. So that gives you a bit of more of an indication itself. You can, however, if there is a certain security company that's looking after certain AX Pro alarm panels or different clients, and they might need access to be able to check what the statuses of the devices are, they can link them as well through the static IP address, and you can log in through the same browser and then be able to have access to that device and set if you need be. Right, so this is on the cell phone network itself, so you can go and set it up. We do have also another one for the solar. It's very similar. So best is to be able to enable it and let the auto settings find itself. So once it's been assigned, it will show you immediately and it will connect. As normal, it will show you normal, and once you are done with everything, it's going to be able to sort out your connection itself. Just like when you take a SIM card and you put it into your phone, it's going to pick up that MMS, whatever messages that you're going to receive from your phone saying welcome to the network, and it's going to assign all your settings for you. So it makes it very easy. This is what I discussed earlier, to take your version from one model to another one. If you are at the office itself and you're on your way to go install it, you can plug it in, make sure that everything is fine, connect it to your network and check if you need to update it. So you don't have to do that off-site. It makes it a lot easier. So by upgrading, you can either use the file or you can do it through your phone itself. Once you scan it and you link it up with your phone itself, it will immediately tell you that you need to update the firmware. So you can either ignore it or you can update it. I would recommend updating the firmware. And that is our PowerPoint presentation. So now I'm going to show you guys quickly just a little bit what's happening here behind me, a bit more into detail. Let me just change my camera here. Can't wait for my little toy, so it makes life easier. So we can change camera angles and have better quality as well. So over here, we have also another nice little product. It's the single input transmitter. So this allows you to be able to connect up with zone, and it also allows you to have tamper, and you can give out power. So not just a normal wireless transmitter, but if you have a sensor like what I've got here, okay, for mine, I don't have one with me at the moment, so I had to improvise. So imagine this device giving power. Yeah, I've just got a normal power supply itself. Then I've got a wireless door contact. So on it, I've got connected zone 1 and zone 2 on the wireless door contact. It's got 2 inputs. You just plug in a little cable that comes with it, and I've taken it directly to a normal wired PIR. So I've connected my zone on the inside, and then the other side I've connected my tamper itself, just to make sure. So you can use your resistors, you can use whatever other applications that you might need it for. This is very straightforward. I hope everybody can see. Let me just check this side. There we go. All right. So it's very straightforward, very easy to use. Over here, we have our panic button. So we have different models of panic buttons. So for all the guys that are out there, it's very straightforward. On our webcam, we have our normal webcam itself, and then we also have the one on our outdoor detector that can clip on the top of it. You also have your relays. We have different magnets, our door magnets. You have the slim model, which is also a very nice little one to use. We have your temperature sensors, and there's so much more. You have smoke detectors. So these are also very nice. Once you mounted them and you've connected them up, it's very straightforward. And once you have, once you have clipped it in, and once you have switched it on by clipping, it will immediately inform you that it's been done. You also have a test button on this, so you don't have to sit with your smoke there and test it yourself. So this is very straightforward, very easy to use. Then the last thing that I would like to show you guys, I'm just going to put the little camera here. This is a Hikvision light. Let me just change the angle a bit, and let me just go quickly to my app. So from my app itself, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to switch on and switch off this light. And the way that I'm doing that is through this little plug here. I don't know if everybody can see that little plug. So this is our smart plug. So the smart plug is just connected, and the light is just connected straight forward to this light. And if I go onto my app and I go to devices and I scroll down, then I've got the on-off button to be able to turn on or off any device. And there it's off. So makes it a lot easier. So this can be used at multiple different ways. It's up to you where you would like to use that. So there we go. So that is our technical side of things. I hope that helped you guys a bit more. If you guys need more information, or if you guys need a bit more in detail training and what is possible, what's not, please take note that we do have a training center, and we also have our e-learning platform itself, so where you guys can apply. So thank you very much for all your help. See you guys next week, and enjoy the rest of the time. And right after this, we'll do the Q&A. Right, there we go.